Hi, welcome to Harper College CNA Program Information Session, also known as a Basic Nursing Assistant. I want to congratulate you because this is a great place to start your healthcare career. The skills that you will learn are going to be applicable in a variety of different careers. So why become a CNA? Well, first of all, it's a job with a high demand. There is always jobs for you in CNA, whether it's in the hospital or long-term care or even home health care. Also, a lot of nursing programs use it as an entrance point, meaning that you can get your basic skills through a CNA program and also get some experience with working with residents. A lot of PA programs, which is physician assistant programs, require it for clinical time. A lot of them want maybe 1,000 hours or 1,500 hours, and there's no better or faster way of getting that clinical time than working as a CNA. It's also a great way for you to find out if this is truly the type of healthcare you want to work in. Is this your passion? Are people and touching people and taking care of people really what you would like to do? So what does it take to be a CNA? Well, first of all, you need to be caring and compassionate, but also you need to have a strong stomach. Not everything is always pleasant as a CNA. You will be helping ill patients through their daily care and a vulnerable population. But you also need to be able to lift 50 pounds and move 100 pounds. So it is somewhat of a physical job. You will also need to communicate well with residents, and especially people that are not able to communicate, people with like hearing deficits or speech deficits and things like that. You will also at times be needing to perform skills that require quick reflexes and also be able to think quickly and adapt to their needs. Recognize when a resident is crisis and also be able to squat, crawl, bend, stoop, or reach above your shoulder level, or also you standing in balance and climbing stairs. So what are the entrance requirements? Well, first of all, you do need to have a valid Social Security number. This is partially for future employment, but also as for your background check and your fingerprinting form so that it can be traced back to you. You also need to meet one of the following prerequisites. You must have taken English 097, 100, or 101 and have gotten a grade of C or better. You must have taken Reading 099 with a grade of C or better, an ESL class 073 with a grade of B or better, or a placement test option, and you can contact the Harper's Testing Center for more information on that. One of the first steps of becoming a CNA is to get on the healthcare registry. We do most of this in class, and the class is heavily regulated by the state of Illinois, IDPH, Illinois Department of Public Health. There are certain rules to getting on the registry, and you will show your complete record as far as being a CNA. So step number one is going to be that you need to be fingerprinted and background check done. We do this on the first day of class, so that would be part of it. If you have anything in your background, a criminal offense that you are concerned with, I would encourage you to read the information on the IDPH website. There are some offenses that would not allow you at all to become a CNA. Those include things like murder, which is very serious, and you certainly would not want somebody taking care of somebody who's done that. There are other offenses that are seen as more minor, and if you have done something like that, then you could apply for a waiver. That's allowing the state of Illinois to look at your record and see how bad of an offense it was. I would suggest, though, that if you think you have something in your record, you may want to get it cleared or expunged first before applying for a waiver. Because the waiver still is going to show up on your record, but a cleared or expunged record will show a clear record, complete. The other part of the healthcare registry is that all of your CNA information would be stored, including that fingerprinting and background check. But as you complete each task for the class, those things will be added to your portfolio on there. It includes completion of this class. I'll tell you, say where you took the class, your state testing and whether you passed or failed the test, and your work record. Just as a side note, if you do, after you become part of the registry, do any kind of a criminal offense, that will be uploaded to that record as well. So what does it cost to become a CNA? Well, first of all, there's tuition and fees, and that's approximately $990. Please check at the One Stop to find out if you can apply for financial aid for this class, and that would help obviously on the cost. Some additional costs are going to be about $150 to $300 during the course. This includes things to meet your health requirements, your book and workbook and DVD, but also required supplies and materials, and the state exam. Your health insurance may cover some of the health requirements, and you may also be able to borrow from friends as far as stethoscopes, etc. The book that we use is Pamela Carter, and that is Nursing Assistant Humanistic Approach. We do encourage you to get the workbook. Some instructors require that, and the DVD package. Your insurance, you must have valid health insurance, and if you do not have any health insurance, then you may we have some places where you can contact and get some health insurance for the class. Some other supplies would be and costs would be for the uniform, which is a white scrub top and black scrub bottom, and if you have a friend that you can borrow it from, fantastic. You do need a gait belt, which is for transferring, and it's called a gait belt or a transfer belt. Those are available at the bookstore and online for about $15 to $20. Any color will do. You also need shoes, and they need to be black or white, faux or real leather shoes, so that it kind of protects your feet and you do not get any fluid on your toes. You do need the book and the workbook and the DVD, which we just talked about. You will need an ID badge, which is basically just your student ID, which you can get at the J building. And please ask them for a clip-on holder. Do not get the lanyard. You need a clip-on holder. Vital signs. For doing vital signs, you will need a watch, a stethoscope, and a blood pressure cuff. And if you've got a good friend that can loan those to you, all the better. CPR. You will need to have the American Heart Association Healthcare Provider CPR certification. We do this in class at a reduced cost, but if you already have this particular kind of CPR certification, you can just present your card at class. We talked a little bit about Complio, which again is our online database and compliance recorder, so they look at all of your health requirements and make sure that you are compliant, and that is for $35. Complio drug test is also $39. The state application at the very end, upon completion of class, is $67. So how do you choose a class for CNA? Well, first of all, look at your own life and your lifestyle and your obligations and where you have to be as far as work and as far as family life, and then make a decision as to what would work. There are many classes to choose from. There are morning, afternoon, and evening classes. There's also a blended class, which is part online and in-class lab. The classes are also held at the main campus and at the Learning and Career Center in Prospect Heights, so choose one that would be convenient for you. All classes have at least 40 hours of clinical time at a local long-term care facility and 80 hours of class time. For the blended class, you must have access to a computer and good computer skills. Register early as classes fill quickly, and choose again the one that will fit for you. While all classes require the same amount of work, choosing a short class will require that work be done in a shorter amount of time. So if you're a person that needs to kind of think a little bit more about the material and study a little bit more, then you might want to choose something that's a longer type of class. Please review our website web page for selection at this site, and all of those classes would be listed for the current semester, but also for subsequent semesters. We tend to have the same kinds of times and availability, so you can kind of plan out that maybe in the spring or in the following semester I will select this class. So what are the health requirements for the program? Well, step number one is that you're going to be registering for on Complio. They are our online compliance site for health requirements. They check to see that what you have submitted meets our requirements for the program. And that would allow you then again to be able to go to clinical. A drug test needs to be done through Complio. Please wait until your instructor gives you instructions on that. A recent physical that states that you're able to function as a CNA, including lifting 50 pounds and pushing 100 pounds. This is again for your protection and for the protection of the resident. You will need to make sure that your tetanus shot is up to date. Tetanus is done every 10 years, and the one that we want you to complete is the one that has the diphtheria and pertussis, and that's partially because you might be coming in contact with children who are vulnerable to those diseases. You will need to have a tuberculosis or TB test done. The one that we recommend is a 2-shot 4-visit TB testing, and it needs to be done within a 21-day period of time. And it needs to be done within 90 days of starting clinical. So the one that you got maybe 6 months ago would not be applicable for this. You could also get a blood test, which would be done through your healthcare provider, and that would be up to them as to which one of these ways of doing it would be better. You need a flu shot during flu season, and that would be anywhere from August through March. So if you have a class during that time, you need a flu shot. You also need current health insurance. You must be able to actually do the job of a CNA, and what we call that is the essential functional abilities of a CNA. Many people are empathetic and want to help others, but being a CNA is a very physical job requiring certain abilities. You must be able to lift 50 pounds or exert or push 100 pounds of pressure. You must be able to perform CPR. You must be able to use your senses to detect changes in the resident's condition. Also working in tight spaces, as there may not be a lot of room during any kind of care. You need to be able to squat, crawl, bend, stoop, or reach above the shoulder level using standing balance or climbing stairs. You will be using your hands repetitively, so you must have manual dexterity and sufficient fine motor function. You will be walking and standing for extended period of time, so you also need to be able to do that. If you have a condition that might prevent you from being able to work as a CNA, there are other healthcare jobs that may fit your needs and still be allowing you to help others and use that empathy that you have. If you have a temporary condition that might affect your ability to function as a CNA, for your safety and the safety of the resident, please check with your healthcare provider to make sure that you are able to function as a CNA at this point. What to expect from the class. We are going to teach you to be responsible for the safety and care of our residents and patients. Each of your instructors is a registered nurse and is skilled in geriatrics and med-surg, and has the experience to assist you in joining the healthcare profession. We will do as much as we can to help you succeed, but in the end, your success is up to you. Please study hard and ask for help. We all need help at times, so ask for help when you need it. We're not mind readers. You have to let us know that you need some help. Attendance at all classroom and clinical and lab days is mandatory because of strict state requirements. Let's talk a little bit about grades. You have 3 grades for this class, and they include the classroom, which would also include classroom tests, lab, and clinical. You must pass all 3 areas in order to pass the class and sit for the state exam. Our classroom grading scale is 92% and above is an A, 84% and above is B, and 75% and above is a C. Anything below that 75% would mean that you could not go to clinical. You must maintain a 75% test average for all classroom tests, and 3 test scores below 75% would mean that you cannot go to clinical or complete the class. Lab is pass-fail. With being a failing grade in lab, you would not be able to go to clinical. Clinical is pass-fail as well. So what do successful students do to pass this class? Well, first of all, they are passionate about caring for others. That's really important for this as a job or as a career. They have support at home and have made arrangements with their work and family to allow their focus to be on their education and attending and being on time to class and clinical. They want to learn and apply large amounts of information for patient care. They are also organized and developed a successful learning and time management strategies. They're able to devote a large amount of time for school. This is a 6 credit hour class, which will require about 10 to 12 hours of outside study. They study smart, not necessarily studying a lot and more hours than what I just mentioned, but they're studying in a smart way. There are resources on campus that can help you study better. Success Services, the Tutoring Center, and other in Access and Disabilities, and your instructor. Remember, your instructor is your coach for being successful. If you have a learning challenge, please consider talking to Access and Disabilities on campus. Here's their web address, and talk to them about what can help you be more successful. Please, we have found that having a study buddy in class or on campus or at home or forming study groups or learning with a friend can be very helpful and very instrumental towards your being successful. For more information, please look at the CNA webpage on the Harper College website for a list of classes and then register for a class. Please attend the orientation session for your class and complete the background form before you start the class. Any specific questions about the program, please contact me, Elizabeth Pagenkoff, at epagenco@harpercollege.edu. Any questions about how to afford the program or registration, please stop by the One Stop, your one-stop service for managing your student finances and registration. They are in Building A, Room A250. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in our classes.